Hi, welcome all for the lecture 14 of module Earthquake Resistance Construction of a Subject Wind and Seismic Analysis. So, in this lecture, the outline of the module on earthquake resistance construction is how the earthquake resistance design and construction of building is done as per the provision of IS 4326 1993. So that can be studied from the codal provision, which is IS 4326 1993. So here is the code of IS 4326, which is a code of practice for the earthquake resistance design and construction of building, and this is the second revision of IS 4326 1993, in which there are some of terminologies which are related to this code. One is a separation section, the and it is defined as a gap of specified width between adjacent building or part of the same building, either left uncovered or covered suitably to permit movement in order to avoid hammering due to earthquake. So it means that when a building structure is subjected to a earthquake force, it will hammer, it will affect the building like a hammering effect. So to prevent this, the gap has to be gap, or some joints has to be provided which are to be covered, eitherly covered or uncovered, so that the moment of that hammering action to be avoided. And center of rigidity, obviously we have already studied this point. Shear walls, these walls are resist to lateral forces in its own plane. And space frames are the three-dimensional structural system composed of interconnected members without shear or bearing walls. So as a function of complete self-contained unit with or without the aid of horizontal diaphragm or floor bracing system are called space frames. There are three type of frame systems which generally adopted: vertical load carrying frame system, moment resisting frame system, and moment frame system with shear walls. Another type of structural system that we have provided is a box system, in which all the load bearing walls are surroundings the are surrounding, so that the structure will act like a box system, a bearing wall structure without a space frame, the horizontal forces being resisted by the walls acting as a shear walls. And obviously the bands are provided in the at a different levels of the building, so that the building can resist the horizontal seismic force. And these bands you can see in these pictures. So several bands are provided at different level, that at lintel level, or or the upper side of doors and windows, we provide a lintel band. And similarly on the other story we provide the lintel band, then roof band, gable bands also provided, so that the different type of horizontal bands are provided in masonry building, so that can improve the its lateral load carrying capacity. Seismic zone and seismic coefficient: earlier the whole country is divided into a 5 seismic zone, 1 to 5, but in IS 1893 2002 code, that is a revised code, in which the seismic zone 1 is diminished, and only 4 seismic zones are available, which is zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5. And the value of zonal factor, which already have given in a IS 1893 table number 2. Design seismic coefficient: obviously we have already talked about this design seismic coefficient, AH, horizontal seismic coefficients. Then grade of concrete, what grade of concrete has to be considered. So for example, if M15 is given, it means the concrete strength will be M15 megapascal of a 28 dash. What are the general principles which we have to be adopted while constructing or designing earthquake resistant buildings? So here are some general things that we have to adopt. One is the lightness. So if a building is a function of earthquake force, then earthquake force is a function of a mass because it acts like an inertial force. So earthquake force is a function of mass. So if the building is as light as possible, then the chances of failure of building is low. If the building is heavier, then the chances of failure of building is more. So if we are going to design or construct a earthquake resistant building, then the building should be light edge possible, designed as light edge possible. Then the continuity of construction. So in the continuity of construction, all the structural element part should be tied together so that the building will act as a single unit, and all the parts of building between separation or crumble section or expansion joint floor slab shall be continuous throughout as far as possible. Similarly, the concrete slab should also be rigidly connected or integrally cast with the support of beams. Then projecting and suspended parts, projection and suspended parts should be avoided in the point of view of earthquake resistant construction. If the projecting part cannot be avoided, then it shall be reinforced, properly reinforced and firmly tied to the main structure, and their design shall be in accordance with the 1893. Ceiling plaster should be avoided, and if it is not possible to avoid that ceiling plaster, then it should be a light edge possible and thin. Building configuration should be symmetrical or a rectangular configuration so that the torsional irregularity will not arise there. And if it is not possible in a plan to have a building symmetry or a rectangular, then the special torsional provision should be made while constructing the building in an earthquake zone. Building plans with a different shape like a L, T and E, Y, that should also be avoided. If it is not possible to avoid such type of building plans, then the projection of these may not exceed 15 to 20% of the total dimension of the building in the direction of projections. Okay, now strength in various directions. So the structure should be designed to have an adequate strength against earthquake effect along the both the direction, in a S direction also, in a Y direction also, because the earthquake is unpredictable force. So that the building structure should be have adequate strength in both the direction, X direction and Y direction. And the foundation shall not be founded on such loose soil because they are susceptible to liquefaction. So the foundation should be rest on a hard strata or a hard soil. Then the main part, the plan with the vertical irregularities such as like this, that have to be avoided. And the main feature of the earthquake resistant building is the ductility. So if the building structural elements and their connection shall be designed to have a ductile failure. So when the building is subjected to earthquake force, then its elements have to be ductile failure. When the ductile failure will occur, then the energy generated during the earthquake, that will be absorbed by the elements, and if the sudden or brittle failure will occur, then the loss of property will be more. So as an earthquake point of view, we have to avoid the building as a ductile failure. Damage to non-structural part, then building should be fire frequently follow on earthquake, and therefore building shall be constructed to make them fire resistance. Building should be provided. Then the special construction features, which is like a separation of adjoining structure, so that the failure of only a single element will occur instead of adjoining structures. So separation will be provided, and Then after separation of crumble section, obviously foundation, sand peeling or soil stabilization, isolated footings for columns to be provided, roof and floor span roof, jack arches. These are not very useful. Staircase. Then type of construction. What type of construction have to be avoided? One is a frame construction and another one is a box type construction. Frame construction, we already have talked about this, that there are three type of construction: vertical load carrying frame construction, moment resisting frame construction, and moment resisting frame construction with the shear walls. Another type of construction is a box type of construction, in which the uh, construction consists of a prefabricated or in situ masonry or concrete reinforced concrete wall along the both the axes of building, so that the wall support vertical loads and also act as a shear walls for horizontal loads acting in any direction. So all traditional masonry construction fall under this category. If you are going for a masonry construction, stone masonry, big masonry constructions, so all around the walls are constructed, so these walls are act as a shear walls, and such type of construction is called box type of constructions. Categories of building. The buildings are specifying or categorized into a 5 categories, which are category A to E, but I is the importance factor, and masonry construction with rectangular construction unit. So if building categorized in table number 2, you can see that if the building categorized for different application features, if the building lies in a zone 2, so that if the building has less importance in compared with a community hall or a hospital, so there is a mass gathering of persons, then for such type of building importance factor is 1, and if the building is situated in zone 2, then the building type should be B. Okay, if the building importance is more, or a community hall or a hospital type of building is constructed, then for such type of building importance factor is 1.5, and then for zone 2 C type of building has to be constructed. Similarly, you can see in this table that if we are constructing a building in a zone 5, then E type of building is to be constructed. Okay. And then masonry units, then squared stone masonry blocks are used, mortars has to be provided, walls, masonry bearings walls are provided, shear walls are provided, and recommendation, what are the recommendation of mortar bricks, which is if A type of building is constructed, then the ratio of sand and cement should be 1:6, or lime clinker if they are providing, then it's a 1:3. If B or C type of building structure is constructed, then the cement lime sand ratio should be 1:2:9, and cement sand for plaster is 1:6. So similarly, the different mortar ratio has to be adopted for different type of building structures. Then masonry bands are provided, as I already talked about these. Some of the lintel band and roof bands are provided, gable bands are provided. Then the openings in a bearing walls, because when an earthquake force is subjected to any building structure or masonry building structure, then it will affect the openings in a bearing wall. So that bearing, that one thing is that here the corners of that region, corner region of a masonry walls have to be tied together, so that the whole the building will act as a single unit. So these should be tied at corner, that should be tied. And here are the some dimensions are given, so that has to be adopted while designing for a earthquake resistant construction. So distance of B5, which is a inside corner of the outside wall, minimum for AB type of 0 mm, for C type of construction 230 mm, or for D and E type of construction for 50 mm, that should be adopted. Opening in a plan, if any wall having a length L1 and there are two opening B2 and B3 are the windows, and B1 is the doors and B6 is the window. So the summation of B1 plus B2 plus B3, all the openings divided by total length of that wall, it should not exceed for one story building 0.60, 0.55 and 0.50. Similarly for two story building 0.5, 0.46, 0.42 and for three story and similar. Similarly, pier width between consecutive opening, which is B4, means the distance between the two consecutive openings should be minimum as 340 mm, 450 and 560 mm, and the vertical distance between the two openings, which is as 3. So the vertical distance between the minimum vertical distance between the two openings should be 600 mm for all type of building structure, and width of opening of ventilator, which is of maximum 900 mm, is to be adopted. There are some of strengthening arrangements recommendation of masonry buildings which are given, that the if W is the window and T is the wall thickness, T1 is the lintel thickness, T2 is the thickness of concrete, and V is the vertical bar, and D is the diameter of reinforcing bar. So if a building category is A type of building category and number of story are 1, 2, 3, so strength to be provided in all story A type, and if the number of story are 4, so A, B, C. What is A? Masonry mortar you can provide. B means lintel band you have to provide. C means roof band and gable band also have to be provided. D means vertical steel at corners and junction of wall have to be provided. That I already discussed about this, that the at the corners some joints has to be provided so that the building will act like a single unit. Then E is the vertical steel at jam of opening. F is the bracings has to be provided. G is the plinth band, and H is the dowel bar to be provided. So these are the some of the things that have to be provided. So here they are mentioning in this pictorial view that one is this is the lintel band is providing it here, then the roof and floor band at 2, which is showing it here, which providing, then the vertical bar, which is this vertical bar is to be provided, and D4 is a door and 5 is a window. So these are the arrangement of reinforcing masonry building. So here it is a mention in case of reinforced brick, the thickness of joint containing steel bar shall be increased, and full integrity of wall at corner and junction of wall, the effective horizontal bending resistance, and so these should be adopted, and that can be seen in this pictorial, that if the building is subjected to a earthquake force, so in a first case when the earthquake force is parallel to the masonry unit, then it will push into this direction, so that the building will push into this direction, plane of the wall direction, and this is called a strong direction. But if the earthquake force will act perpendicular to that masonry wall, then it will create a toppling action, so that the building will so that the wall will fall down, and this is a weak direction. In this picture you can see that all the 4 walls are provided. If the direction of earthquake force in this direction, so wall B will topple down and wall A will pushed into opposite direction. But if all the corners we have provided the joint, or properly joints are provided at all the corners, so that the building will act as a single unit, and this will not fall down, so this will resist the horizontal earthquake force. So that's why the full integrity of wall at corners and junction of walls are provided. Plinth band has to be provided in category of D and E buildings. There are some of D and E building lintel band have to be provided, E bands are have to be provided, gable bands, doors, window, vertical steel bars are to be provided, because D or E type of buildings are constructed in the high earthquake prone zone, which is zone 5. So such buildings have to be strengthened much against the earthquake force. These are some of the uh, general criteria which we have to adopt while constructing the earthquake resistant constructing building. And there are some recommendation of longitudinal steel in reinforced concrete bands. So here it is mentioning building categories and number of bars are provided and dia of bars are provided. If the span is 5 meter, 6 meter, 7 meter and 8 meter, so that the different type of diameter and different number of bars are provided at a longitudinal. And these are the some reinforcement and bending details in RC bands. So one is showing a 2 bars which are connected through a stirrups. Here B diagram showing a 4 bars which are connected through a 2 leg stirrups. Similarly, this is a T section, L sections, and this is a T sections. So here are the longitudinal bars and these are the stirrups which have to be provided. So this is the reinforcement detailing. Reinforcement detailing with the hollow block masonry. Only this have to be considered. Thank you.